How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to Lead Therapy, and thank you so very much for taking time for tuning into my video. If you guys don't know by now, politicians lie, but the numbers don't. Politicians and journalists cannot resist exploiting the deaths of school children, but the wall-to-wall coverage serves no purpose except to terrify parents and their children. Contrary from what you've heard from Biden and the so-called news media, school massacres like the one recently are exceptionally rare events. They actually occurred more often in the 90s than recently. But back then, there wasn't an army of satellite trucks competing around the clock to chronicle the horror. James Allen Fox, a criminologist at Northeast University, who has been tracking these events for decades and helps keep the AP, USA Today, Northeastern Mass Killing Database, said there's not an epidemic of mass shootings, but what is increasing and is out of control is the epidemic of fear. Mr. Fox also notes the annual odds that an American child will die in a mass shooting at school are nearly 10 million to 1, about the same odds of being killed by lightning or dying in an earthquake. These are also about the same odds that any American will die in a mass shooting, like the recent one in Buffalo. Such numbers, of course, are no consolation to the grieving parents and families of these mass shootings, but neither is the frenzy to manipulate these tragedies for ratings and political gain. Parents and their children don't need to hear the deceptive statistics promoted by the press and the White House Fearmonger-in-Chief. Biden recently cited 900 incidents of gunfire at school grounds since 2012, but few students died in these incidents, which typically occurred outside the school building and often involved non-students going there after hours. Also, in these inflated numbers of what they call school shootings. For example, if after school hours somebody shoots at a school and there's nobody in that school, that's considered a school shooting. If somebody after hours goes onto school property and police arrive and end up happening to shoot that person, that is considered a school shooting. Let me also remind you there are 50 million students in America. Also, let me remind you that hundreds of children die every year in drowning accidents. And that's why we have lifeguards at pools and our beaches. But for some reason, a lot of states don't have armed guards at their schools. As I mentioned earlier in the video, mass public shootings at schools are very rare. A total of 12 in the past 34 years. We all can agree that even one of these massacres is too many. We should be looking for ways to protect children and adults from all the dangers they face. And the answer is not gun control. Because if you pass these gun control laws, you're only controlling the law-abiding citizens. They're called criminals for a reason, because they don't follow the laws. As always, let me know your thoughts about the story in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed the video, or if I gave you some information you didn't know, please take time to like, share, and subscribe, and hit those post notifications. And I'll see you guys in the next video.